debate stage. We profile a local man with a unique profession, and in sports, a Bobcat gets his shot with an NFL team. Newswatch starts right now. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for all news impacting Southeastern Ohio. I'm Allie Eldridge. Thanks for joining us. A meth-related arrest in Athens County today. The Athens County Sheriff was called to investigate a man asleep in a car in the Plains. Officers discovered a loaded 9mm pistol, almost 60 grams of marijuana on the man. The man was identified as Danny Swagger of Grafton, West Virginia. He was charged with a possession of a controlled substance and possessing a concealed weapon, both felonies. An Ohio State center intended to support sexual assault survivors failed to report 57 potential felonies. The school closed its Sexual Civility and Empowerment Unit in 2018 after finding out it failed to report potential felonies to law enforcement as legally required. The Columbus Dispatch learned of these findings through public records requests. The university says all 57 cases have now been reported to law enforcement. Governor DeWine says Ohio is struggling to find a new set of execution drugs. This comes after a judge raised concerns about Ohio's current lethal injection system being unconstitutional. Multiple drug manufacturers prohibited the use of their products for executions, severely limiting supplies. DeWine says thousands of Ohioans may be impacted if state agencies were unable to purchase drugs. An Ohio-born soldier killed in action in Afghanistan. Today, Governor Mike DeWine ordered flags flown at half-staff following the death of Brandon Kreischer of Stryker. About 60 miles south of Toledo, the 20-year-old Kreischer died Monday in southern Afghanistan. Flags are to stay at half-staff until sunset the day of his funeral. Ohio agreed to give 2 Amazon distribution centers tax breaks estimated to be worth $12 million. The new centers are located in Akron near Toledo and are expected to create over 2,000 jobs. Amazon will receive a portion of the state income tax that the new workers pay. The Ohio Tax Credit Authority approved both projects on Monday.
Hello, I'm your forecaster, Blake Cardesty. It's pretty mild out there this evening around the Athens area. Right now, we're looking at 83 degrees for our temperature right now. We'll grab some scattered storms around the area tonight. I'll get to that more in just a few seconds here. Humidity's at 60% at the moment, and that will be rising as we go into the overnight hours tonight. Around the region, we have similar conditions, 84 degrees in Marietta, 84 in Ripley, and 86 degrees is still down there in Ironton, even though it's 6:30 at night. Pretty warm down there. 81 in Newark and 79 up in Cambridge and New Martinsville. We all have a chance of seeing some thunderstorms out there this evening. That is due to this cold front that's going to be moving through the area associated with this low pressure system right over Ohio here. And that cold front is going to be moving through the area, building this high pressure in here behind it, and that's going to give way to some sunshine in the next couple days. But at the moment, here on Precipcast, that cold front right through this area here is causing some pop-up showers around the area. Possible some thunderstorms as well as we go into the overnight hours tonight. None of these are going to be severe, but you might still see a grumble of thunder or two out there for the next couple hours. I would take a look at the National Precipcast. Not really a whole lot I'm tracking at the moment. The only thing I'm tracking at the moment is down here in the Bahamas. This is part of a tropical disturbance, not yet a tropical storm or depression, which I don't think is going to be getting to that point. That will be making its way up the eastern coast here, past the Carolinas, and could be affecting our viewers in West Virginia, the southern counties of our viewing area. Could be some rain showers to middle of next week, but for the most part, here in Ohio, we're looking at lots of sunshine alley. Hopefully, we'll get some time outside soon.
Thanks, Blake. Tim Ryan of Youngstown is the only Ohioan pursuing the Democratic nomination for president. He took to the debate stage last night, and his debates with Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders took center stage. Ryan and Sanders briefly debated combating climate change.
I didn't say we couldn't get there till 2040, Bernie. You don't have to yell. I mean, all I'm saying is we have to invent our way out of this thing. And if we're waiting for 2040 for a ban to come in on gasoline vehicles, we're screwed. So we better get busy now. And that's why I'm saying get a chief manufacturing officer. Align the environmental incentives with the financial incentives.
Ryan and Sanders also sparred over health care. We will have more on that exchange later. Controversy surrounds Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell after he blocks a bipartisan election security bill. In his home state, he is being met with protests and being referred to as Moscow Mitch. McConnell defended his decision on Capitol Hill.
Well, let's look at the situation. There's total agreement that the Russians were trying to impact the 2016 election. There's also almost total agreement that in 2018 they failed totally because of the great job done by the administration. They upped their game. Much of what they engaged in is classified, but I think it's no accident that the effort to impact the elections in 2018 by the Russians and others was largely a failure.
McConnell also referred to the attack as modern-day McCarthyism. In other Kentucky news, a group of miners have been blocking trains from entering a coal plant for the past 3 days. Workers are angry their paychecks bounced after their company, Black Jewel Mining, declared bankruptcy. The miners say they aren't leaving until they get answers, and the plan is to stay tonight and however long it takes to find out when they will get paid money they earned.
They haven't paid us in a month, and they're not giving us no idea when we're getting paid.
That's what I mean. You know, we got school clothes, supplies, and we're not being able to get all this. That's the reason we're doing this today. You know, they're trying to sell coal and get their money, but, you know, where's our money?
State police say they have not been contacted by CSX Railroad officials, nor have they issued any citations or made any arrests. Ever been to a dove release in the area and wondered where they came from? Well, meet Pete Thompson. He's the owner of Ohio Valley Dove Releases here in Athens. He takes 4 or 5 of his 40 birds to graveside memorial services, weddings, and other special events to release them. Thompson says he can take them up to 50 miles away and they'll always find their way back home to their loft. He says he's had an interest in doves going all the way back into his childhood years.
My father had pigeons as far back as I can remember. My first 4-H project was pigeons, actually, back in the 60s. And he had them, and so I just had an interest in them on into my adult life.
We have more for you on Thompson and his flying friends. Tune in tomorrow's Newswatch to learn just how the birds always find their way back home. California is taking a unique approach to try and force President Trump to release his tax returns, and 10 more Democrats take the stage in Detroit tonight. See how they prepare. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at woub.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
Day one of the latest round of Democratic debates is in the books. Now it's time for round two, and it's a chance for voters to see a rematch between former Vice President Joe Biden and California Senator Kamala Harris. Kristen Holmes has the preview.
As the debate stage is reset for round two, the ideological divide within the Democratic Party is on full display.
You don't know that,
Second
Bernie.
of all,
We'll come to you in a second,
I do know, and I wrote the damn bill.
Leading liberals, Senators Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren attacked for their progressive positions.
This is an example of wish list economics.
We should stop using Republican talking points in order to talk with each other about how to best provide that health care.
The candidates say in the end, it's not about ideology.
I still worry that everybody's focused on where to put everyone's dot on this left to center to right spectrum, forgetting how many voters don't think of the election that way.
It's about change.
The people that are watching the debate are not just base Democrats, they're also independents and moderate Republicans that are looking for a change in the White House.
Tonight, 10 more candidates share the stage. Senators Kirsten Gillibrand, Michael Bennet, and Cory Booker join Representative Tulsi Gabbard, Mayor Bill de Blasio, Governor Jay Inslee, businessman Andrew Yang, and former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro. But the big draw is former Vice President Joe Biden, facing off against Senator Kamala Harris. Their clash over race became the most closely watched moment of last month's debate, and tonight their rematch is set on center stage. In Detroit, I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
Presidential candidates in California are now required to disclose 5 years of tax returns in order to appear on the state's ballot. Governor Gavin Newsom signed the bill yesterday. The new law, named the Presidential Tax Transparency and Accountability Act, requires all candidates to file IRS returns at least 98 days ahead of a primary election. President Trump has already filed suit in federal court against the House Ways and Means Committee, the New York State Attorney General, and the New York Tax Commissioner to prevent his disclosure of his tax returns. The Federal Reserve is lowering interest rates for the first time since the 2008 Great Recession. Policymakers voted 8-2 in favor of a small cut in the federal funds rate earlier today. Interest rates, which affect the cost of borrowing for credit cards and mortgages, are now set to hover between 2% and 2.25%. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says the decision comes in support of the U.S. economy.
We decided today to lower the target for the federal funds rate by 1/4 percentage point to a range of 2% to 2.25%. The outlook for the U.S. economy remains favorable, and this action is designed to support that outlook.
Policymakers say they will continue to act as needed to support the economy. We spoke with 2 Bobcats now playing in the NFL. That story is coming in about 8 minutes.
We're going to have some storms out there this evening. It's about to get very hot and very humid. I'll have details about that and the weekend forecast next on Newswatch. But first, here's a look at stocks of local interest.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
Welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. It's pretty humid out there this evening at the moment. It's going to be increasing as we go into the overnight hours. 60% for the humidity at the moment. Pretty mild as well. It's 83 degrees for the temperature at the moment. And we do have some scattered storms moving through the area tonight. As we take a look at precipcast, we have these storms starting to fire off throughout the area. That's because of a cold front going right through the varying area right through here, causing those storms to fire off. So you might hear a few grumble of thunder out there too. Nothing too severe out there, but it's still going to be a little stormy out there possible. Around the region, looking at temperatures in the mid-80s for most of the area. 84 in Ripley, 86 for one spot down there in Ironton, and 84 over in Jackson. Pretty warm out there this evening, but we are going to be cooling down as we go into the overnight hours tonight. 65 degrees for a low temperature in Athens. We do have a few lingering storms possible as we go overnight tonight. Those should be clearing out earlier by around midnight tonight. So as we go into late overnight hours, those should be dissipating out of the area. I would take a look around the region for the area. 66 degrees in Marietta as well. 67 in Ripley. So pretty pleasant evening out there for most of the viewing area. Nice cool conditions out there for this time of year. I would take a look hour by hour waking up tomorrow. That 66 degrees still around there by 8 a.m. Going to have a few patchy fog area out there tonight because of all that humidity. But as we go by noon, 79 degrees. Going to be a very humid day out there still. It's going to be around 60% humidity for the entire day. And it's going to be only going to be going up from there. And by 4 p.m., looking at 84 degrees. We do have a slight chance of an evening possible shower just because of that heat out there giving the fuel to the atmosphere along with that humidity. So we can't take that out of the possibility. And here's the little bit of scattered showers out there tomorrow. Nothing really widespread, so nothing I would ever cancel plans over. Just be prepared. You might see a little dark cloud out there every once in a while, but nothing to be overly concerned about. Around the region, we have similar conditions. 85 in Marietta, 83 up in Cambridge, and 85 over Newark, a one spot in Ironton of 86 degrees. We all have the chance of seeing a few isolated showers or two out there for tomorrow. As we take look at precipcast tomorrow night, those showers are going to be intensifying in chances tomorrow. We have a little more showers popping up through southern Ohio that will be clearing out fairly quickly. If you do see any type of rain, that will be passing by fairly quickly. As we take a look, Friday in Athens, that sunshine does return. The heat index on Friday will be reaching 90 degrees, so it's going to be pretty hot out there on Friday. We do have another chance of some eating storage, again, just because of all that heat out there. We can't ever really rule that out this time of year here in Ohio. And we'll not really have much of a breeze, north winds of 0 to 5 miles per hour. But as we take a look at the 7-day forecast, that sunshine does like to stick around for us. Saturday for the start of your weekend, 86 degrees, and that 86 is for Sunday as well. Plenty of sunshine out there, and that sunshine will continue into the start of your work week. 87 degrees on your Monday, Tuesday as well. Reaching down to 60 degrees on Tuesday, but again, warming back up to 87 degrees and humid on Wednesday. Allie?
Thanks, Blake. Could moving to a different zip code once you reach retirement add years to your life? Britt Conway has more on a new study.
The average American can expect to live about 78 years. But of course, it all depends on things like income, race, overall health, and where they live. But you can change that. A recent study by the National Bureau of Economic Research, which looked at nearly 70 million Medicare beneficiaries from 1999 through 2014, found seniors who moved to certain locations in retirement could add or take off years from their lives. Now, the study did adjust for things like education, homicide rates, and overall health, and found that moving to a higher-rated area after age 65 could lengthen someone's life by more than a year. The 5 best-rated areas, well, they're all in New York and Florida, with Yonkers, New York taking the cake, increasing lifespan an estimated 1.26 years. Also in the top 10, Asheville and Wilmington, North Carolina, along with Bridgeport, Connecticut, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. According to the study, though, moving to Lake Charles, Louisiana could shorten an average senior's life the most by 9 months. Some big cities like Las Vegas and Salt Lake City also made the list for lowering life expectancy. For today's Health Minute, I'm Britt Conway.
Americans will soon be able to import prescription drugs from other countries, according to the Trump administration. The Department of Health and Human Services released a new plan today that would allow the import of prescription drugs under certain circumstances. Under the new plan, drugs could only be imported by pharmaceutical manufacturers or by professionals involved in medical test projects. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, many American drug makers are currently bound by contracts with their suppliers that forbid importation. Many older Americans may be abusing alcohol. A new study by NYU School of Medicine found 1 in 10 seniors said they binge drink. Binge drinking is defined as 5 drinks or more on the same occasion for men and 4 drinks for women. Binge drinking is considered alcohol abuse. The study also found that among adults 65 years and older, men and people who use cannabis are more likely to binge drink. The study was published today in the Journal of American Geriatric Society. And when we get back from the break, we take a look at one of the greatest running backs in Bobcat history who chased his NFL dream all the way to Cleveland. Stay tuned to WOUB, and here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
A box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS. We're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
The career of an undrafted free agent in the NFL could be made or lost during training camp. One former Bobcat wasn't on a roster at the beginning of camp, but impressed enough in a tryout to get a chance to earn a spot during the preseason. Reporter Taylor Jed Rizak traveled to Berea to talk to former Bobcat star running back and newest Cleveland Brown, AJ Allett. Excuse me.
5 years ago, AJ Allett came to Ohio with no more than a promise of a tryout to walk onto the football team. Now, despite leaving Athens as one of the best running backs in the history of Bobcats football, he finds himself in the same situation with the Cleveland Browns. On Saturday, the undrafted rookie signed a contract with the Browns as a tryout to make the final roster.
I showed up, did my best, showed them what I was capable of, and they kept me. A couple hours later, they brought me in the office, shook my hand, said, "I'm gonna call your agent, we're gonna sign you." So after that, you get all excited. Grew up in Ohio, from Ohio, Ohio loyal, so couldn't pick a better place to sign and prove myself.
But Ouellette is starting his journey behind other players fighting for the same spot on the roster.
I'm staying an extra, 2 hours compared to everybody else, staying up, coming in early, trying to learn, because I was 3 days behind. They already had 3 installs. We're on install 5 today, so I just got to catch up on the playbook and just outperform everyone.
Travis Carey, another former Bobcat who is entering his 6th year in the NFL and his 2nd with the Browns, knows that Ouellette has what it takes to make it in this league.
No matter where you get drafted, no matter if you don't get drafted, if you get that opportunity, that's all you can really ask for, because you've seen 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th rounders, all type of guys get cut at this league within the 1st year or the 2nd year. They don't even make it. And so it's those guys that don't have that opportunity, that have that hunger, that those are the ones that really put in the time and the work, and they just don't rely on their talent. He may not get as many reps in practice, but the reps that he does get in practice, improve, perfect those reps, because as you continue to go on and do those things perfectly, you get 1 rep. Then you come out the next day, you get 2 reps. A week later, you're at 6, 7 reps. Now coaches are seeing who you are, and you're putting yourself in the best position. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be one of those guys that just continues to live and have fun in this league, man.
Over the course of his career, Ouellette has earned plenty of accolades. The thing he wants most now is to earn a stripe on his blank orange helmet.
That's what you dream about when you're, in 2nd grade, playing football for the first time. It's playing in the NFL. So if I get that stripe, I'll have flashbacks of my first play as a football player, and knowing that it was worth it and all that hard work, paid off.
For WOUB, I'm Taylor Jedrzak.
Ouellette isn't the only Bobcat in an NFL camp trying to make the regular season roster. Former offensive lineman Joe Lowry is in camp with the Chicago Bears, and former wide receiver Poppy White was signed by the Tennessee Titans earlier today. If you have a dog that is a little bit of everything, today is for them. July 31st is considered National Mutt Day. The observance encourages Americans to celebrate mixed breeds canines according to the National Day calendar. Pet expert Colleen Page founded the unofficial holiday in 2005. To celebrate, people can post photos online with their favorite pups, volunteer at a shelter, or adopt a new furry friend. According to the ASPCA, more than 3 million dogs enter shelters every year with the hope of finding a forever home.
Well, it's pretty mild out there at the moment, but we will be cooling down eventually tonight. 65 degrees for a low temperature tonight in Athens. We do have a few lingering showers and storms out there possible, but those will be clearing up by around midnight tonight. But tomorrow in Athens, looking at 83 degrees. We're going to have a little bit of a foggy morning out there tomorrow. We do have possible storms in the evening time because of all the heat and humidity out there, but they shouldn't be severe, so you might hear a gumble thunder too. But mostly for the day, it's going to be mainly sunny out there tomorrow. And that will continue into your Friday. 85 degrees on Friday, sunny, plenty of sunshine. 86 degrees for your weekend, 86 on Saturday and Sunday as well. 87 degrees on Monday. It's going to be very hot, lots of sunshine out there, and really humid. So if you're outside, make sure you drink plenty of water. Take some breaks out in the shade and stay safe out there.
Well, at least it's not raining.
Absolutely.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Allie Eldridge. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.